Let's bring in Noah Rothman, National Review senior writer, and Fox News contributor James Freeman, assistant editor for the Wall Street Journal editorial page. Gentlemen, great to have both of you with us. Hundreds of pages of this transcript, and in it, you know, you hear Hunter Biden saying what he's been saying all along, which is that he's very close to his dad. He calls and checks in with him all the time, never involved in his business dealings at all. What do you make of it, James?
Well, we now see him acknowledging that he was highly involved. And you go back to 2020, hats off to our corporate cousins at the New York Post. The stories were true. And this is now another test, I think, of some of our colleagues in the media on whether they're going to rise above partisanship here, because they all went with the Joe Biden con job, or in many cases, that this is so damning. It's so awful. It's so corrupt. It must be a Russian disinformation campaign. That's how bad it was. Well, now it's all true. We know it wasn't a Russian disinformation campaign, and the smoking guns are there.
Here might be one of them. I don't know what you'll make of this, Noah. Call for one. Would you call it, here was the question. Would you call it involvement if my dad was in New York City at the same time I was in New York City, and I was having lunch with some of my business associates, and I said, hey, Dad, come by for lunch? Who wouldn't do that? Are you saying that you wouldn't do that with your father if he was in town at the same time? So I don't know if that was a rhetorical on behalf of Hunter Biden or not, but that was part of the way it went. Go.
Yeah, this question of whether you call it business, the product being sold is Joe Biden. So then we have a product demo, which I think reassures all the check writers around the table that, yeah, this is really it. This is really the product. It's awful, and it's just as awful as when he brought Hunter along on Air Force Two, representing the United States. Hunter with his hand out, doing business in China, for example, introducing his dad to his new Chinese business associate. What is the business?
But
exactly?
Apparently he repeatedly said this had nothing to do with my father. This last word was nothing to do with my dad. Zero.
So the Commerce Committee deserves to be credited for A, holding this closed-door hearing, and B, releasing the transcript as soon as possible, because we get a lot of information from the witness and don't hear a lot of the grandstanding from the members who are questioning them, which is desirable, in part because they give Hunter Biden quite a lot of rope to hang himself with. He says in this, in part of this transcript, in part that Jim Biden, Joe Biden's brother, when they were talking about involving Joe Biden, it was entirely aspirational. Wouldn't it be nice if we had the president involved in this thing? But nah, it'll never happen. That conflicts rather significantly with previous testimony that he had been given and other evidence that we have of Joe Biden's involvement in the repayment of these loans, from which he received 10% of this remuneration. And he was, in fact, the big guy. That information came out when we were talking about these strong-arming texts, which Hunter Biden, A, says he sent to the wrong Zhao. It was meant for a different Zhao, and that mistake was made because he was under the influence of either drugs or alcohol. These are said in defense of his own conduct, incriminating himself and demonstrating that he's not a reliable witness, which makes it almost inevitable that he will have to testify in public, that he will have to expose himself to these very political, showy hearings.
Yeah, Abby Lowell says the transcripts of witnesses who have been called to date, including Hunter's, makes it obvious that there is nothing left to ask, answer, say, or do. And although they had been pushing for public testimony, now it appears that they are saying, we're done. James?
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I would agree that the 2020 stories that they worked so hard to suppress, we've now seen are all true. Joe Biden obviously thought he wouldn't have gotten elected if he had allowed that to see the light. So in some ways, there's no more to say. I would still like to hear from members of the Obama administration, the Obama White House counsel's office. How did you allow this garbage? We know there were people during the Ukraine episodes in the State Department who did not like this Hunter doing business, trailing along by his father. I'd like to know how that got past the White House counsel's office.
It's a great point, because we also know that the Obama team was concerned about this and that there was discussion about cutting it off. You know what? Hunter can't be going on these planes with him. It doesn't look good. But there, they fell back on the, well, he just lost his son. Obviously a great tragedy for this family. But every time in this transcript, when you see, when anything starts to be somewhat exposed, they fall back on the tragedies that the family has suffered. This is why we call each other constantly, even in the middle of business meetings, and the drugs or alcohol excuse. Noah.
And obviously, that's a really good emotional blackmail effort to get you to back off your own intuitive conclusions. I can see why the Hunter's counsel wants to perhaps say, we're done, we're not going to testify anymore, because the politics of the impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden have been moving in the wrong direction from Republicans. The votes aren't there. They were barely there for the inquiry to begin with. And we're pretty sure that if they held a vote tomorrow for impeachment, it would fail with Republican votes in the opposition. In the event that you have Hunter Biden on the stage trying to demonstrate that he's some consistency in his answers, getting probed and hammered, as the representative said in your introduction, the base demands it. And a lot of those votes that are previously a little leery of engaging in an impeachment inquiry could begin to shape.
I think the implication that Martha mentioned there about a public hearing, I think is in doubt, right? I think they're going to fight it, and we'll see how far they go. Comer wants it. It doesn't look like Abby Lowe's willing to go, but gentlemen, thank you for being here. Thanks. James and Noah, have a great weekend.
You too.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.